Hey guys, SoCal Val here. You are listening to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast.
Welcome everybody back to the NWA Powerr review show. I am your host, Adam Cousins, and yes, the image next to me is not full. She has come back. She's finally come back to me. She's turned 21 again since we've been away. First off, happy belated birthday, and secondly,
thank you, darling.
Welcome back to the show, Fiona. How are you?
I'm good. I've survived my first week back at work after my holiday, so all good.
The holiday blues from Texas and Tulsa and wherever else you ventured off to.
Take me back.
You turned 21 again?
For like the third time almost.
How was your birthday over there though? Was it nice?
It was nice. What did I do? I was a bit sleepy because I just got there the night before. So I just did some touristy stuff. Went out for dinner, went out and just wandered around, was down in Fort Worth and stuff like that. So no, it was nice. It was good.
Lovely. Well, I done the last 2 weeks on my own. Oh. I know. It's been smaller than that. While you've been away. But you did tell me before we come on air today that you've seen this week's episode of Powerr.
I have succumbed. I'm not proud of myself. I have a VPN. Thank you, friend. I will not mention you. I have a VPN.
He shall not be named.
I've had a VPN for about a week. Well, have not been able to upload the CW app. Finally sat down and figured it out today. And I actually had to, it's not as simple as just downloading a VPN and then downloading the app. Right. Had to go into Google, had to change all my Google settings, my Google payment settings. So quite a lot of hoops to jump through, but I saw this week's episode. And Good. Let me tell you, we are missing out.
Yes, you did say we are missing out big time on this. I have seen the cold open.
It's very good this week. Very, very good this week.
The Cazanas and Zion, or AJ in particular, and his dad Joe, Zion and Austin Idol. That was the cold open to basically saying this week's match would end the feud to a degree.
And it's also obviously the spot in the four-way for the national championship.
I was going to say that because last week, for those of you that don't know, Fiona obviously wasn't on the show last week, so I couldn't get her thoughts. Everybody, Silas Mason, who, good news, everybody, I can't remember how much the GoFundMe got to in the end, but I'm not sure if it's still open. If it is, two NWA Powerr videos ago, I've got a link there. If he's still open, please go and still donate. Unfortunately, obviously losing everything in his house fire, but wrestling-wise, he dropped the championship in a bid to go for EC3. What are your thoughts about that?
I'm really excited about that. I rate Thrill Billy, even though he's a bit of an asshole. I rate him. To me, he's NWA. He's old school 80s, and I love that. There was a promo on this week's from EC3. And he's like, the whole, obviously to be the man, you've got to beat this man. And he's basically said, your time's not quite right. It's not quite your time. I'm not sure if it is quite Thrill Billy's time. How long has EC3 had that belt for? 6 months, maybe longer?
75, was it? 75?
Okay, 9 months maybe.
I think he retired. He retired thingy at Tyrus at 75. I'm sure he did.
Yeah, so that'd be about 9 months then. Not a year yet.
No.
Okay, he's had it for a reasonable time. I would love to see it on Thrill Billy. No disrespect to EC3. I would love to see it on Thrill Billy. Not entirely certain if it is his time, but that's going to be one barnstormer of a match if they go for it.
And is that going to be at Hard Times? Do we know yet? Has it been announced?
I don't know if it will be then or if it will be potentially Crockett Cup.
Could be, because that's coming up with your favourite tournament.
I know.
Crockett Cup, which is really, really good. I'm gutted about that. And I'm gutted I'm missing this now because you've said it and now you say how good it is. Why didn't you? So you were saying there's like a split screen now. Go into that a bit.
So, like, not a split screen as such, but more like when the matches are being announced. So, for example, there was Mecca Wolf and Alex Misery.
Mhm.
So it'd come up Mecca Wolf, and there'd be a still of Mecca Wolf on one side. So, like his total Street Fighter pose or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, and I think we'd spoken about that before.
Mm.
And then the other side of the screen's like just a little mini montage of him doing some moves, whether it's moonsault or whatever. Like there'll be a couple of little tiny, like a second long clip from various different matches,
Right.
as opposed to the kind of entrances that they had last season. So last season they kind of had them come through the curtain or
Yeah.
whatever, and the smoke and everything. They had the entrances, but now they're doing like a still kind of screen instead for the entrances, which is pretty cool.
Nice one.
And
Okay.
obviously we've got the new set as well, which looks really, really smart on camera. I like it. I like the vibe of it.
Yeah, I have seen the set myself. I do like that. Let's get on with it then. We had the cold open that we've already mentioned. Birchall's first, defeating Magic Jake.
Yeah.
The title qualifiers, so he goes along for the championship. Well, you see it. What was it like?
I did. It very much seemed early on that Jake Dumas was in control of that match. He really went for it on Birchall's kind of, was it his left arm? And it looked like at one point that maybe Birchall was a little bit injured or whatever. But Birchall being Birchall came back, made a comeback, and well, I'm just having a look at my notes actually. Yeah, so Jake goes up onto the rope. Not often you'll see Jake go up on the
No.
ropes, actually. Jake goes up on the middle rope, moonsault off the middle rope. Um, and obviously Birchall, being the smart guy that he is, gets out the way pretty quick. Double underhook by Birchall, and that's the win. Gets the pin on Jake.
And there you go. And he qualifies, as we said,
He
for the NWA.
does.
So that's one of the four. I think there wasn't there one last week. Was there?
Troop, Blake Troop.
Troop, bulletproof.
Yeah.
Yes, my man, bulletproof break Troop. Yes, he got through last week. So there's two through there so far. Another one in the main event, which we'll get to shortly. Kenzie was next. The only member of Pretty Empowered of the title now.
Yeah, but all three of them on screen cut a nice wee scathing promo on Markova.
Yes, and she said that the story would not end with her success. Hard times would just be hard times for her.
Well and
Mark, how
truly.
many shots has Markova had now?
Too many.
Well, there you go. Too many.
Well, she had multiple ones on Camille, didn't she?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. So
Is
I
it
don't
her
know.
time, do you think, or not?
What's that?
Is it her time, do you think?
Potentially, but I'd quite like to see Kenzie hold on to that for a little bit longer.
Yeah, how long is she's 75 as well, wasn't it? She beat
She
Camille.
was, yeah.
So it's been a while. Yeah, I don't think Kenzie's. I'm not. So I think she's. For me, Markova's lost too many to be considered a champion. She's lost it too many times, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I do maybe agree with Kenzie. I think maybe hard times may just be hard times for Marco. But then who is next? I mean, who's there?
Well, that's it. Like,
We've got Ruthie, but
I
she's
do you know I am actually gonna have to go and watch the previous episodes because it's been 2 months.
Yeah.
It's been 8 weeks. This was week 8 without a show. I've kind of forgotten who's in the running, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
What's happened to Missa Kate still about?
She was on last week, I think.
Okay, so I've not
Or the
seen
week
that,
before.
so I'm not sure.
Yeah. So you got Tiffany
Obviously
Nieves, haven't you?
you've got the King Bees, but that's a tag team.
Yeah. Ruthie
Taylor
J.
Rising, is she still there?
Not sure. I can't remember. You got.
So I'm like, it's difficult when you haven't seen it for so long. I feel like I very much at the moment feel like it's one of these ones saying, "Oh my God, I've not seen it for so long, and I'm gonna have to try and play catch up or reacquaint myself with the people involved." Basically,
I still think Pretty Empowered should have a triple threat. I still want to see it.
I like that idea actually,
I
but then
still.
they'll just implode, won't they? So
Yeah, that is true. You mentioned Mr. Mecca Wolf earlier on. So last week it turned out that Alex Misery had done a deal with the devil, or in this case, done a deal with Vampiro.
Okay.
So that was the promo that he cut last week was talking about how you got to be. I can't quite remember. I had it written down because I discussed it last week with myself. And yeah, so Alex Misery done a deal with Vampiro. He was who Vampiro was talking about, basically.
Okay.
So it's led to this unsanctioned match with Mecca Wolf and Alex Misery. Mecca Wolf wins it. What was that match like, the unsanctioned match?
I enjoyed it.
Mm.
Like, in terms of unsanctioned, I probably wouldn't have known that it was unsanctioned. There was nothing in it that made me go, wait a minute, what's going on here, sort of thing. It was Alex Miz really impressed me. I don't know much about him. I've only seen him once or twice before. He actually
Yeah.
really, really impressed me. I'm a huge Mecca Wolf fan. I've never hidden the fact I was a huge Larabellion fan.
Yeah.
But I also know Mecca Wolf wrestled singles before he wrestled tag, so it's nice to see him back doing that. Kind of unusual to see him in white. You're so used to him seeing in black, but that was really, really good. At one point, Alex climbs up the set of the power station, is what Joe and Danny have been calling it now. Climbed up the set of the power station, right the way up to the top of the NWA, the actual NWA sign. So you've got all the metal and everything, and then there's a big kind of like white NWA sign, and Alex climbed up to the top of that and then flew off the top of it onto Mecca Wolf. So it was a good match. There was a lot of back and forth to it. But obviously Mecca Wolf picks up the win on that. Purely because Alex Misery tried to do a springboard and a cutter, and it all went a wee bit horribly wrong. Well, kicked out at two, and then there was a little bit back and forth. But yeah, Mecca Wolf wins that one, so it was good. I'd quite like to see some more Alex Misery, to be honest with you. I enjoyed it, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see the addition of Vampiro when it happens, or if maybe you're going to need to go back and see the promo. That's what it was on. It was on socials, and that's how I saw it. But yeah, it's something to do with Vampiro and Alex Misery. We'll see a bit more about that, I would imagine, as the week unfold on Power. We mentioned the promo from EC3, made it clear.
It was good. It was very good. Filmed in black and white as well to make it look. He had an arrow above his head though. I can't remember if it was going down though. I can't remember if the arrow was pointing down or pointing up, but he had like an arrow drawn above his eye. But like that whole, literally like all the way down.
Interesting.
Because at first I thought it was a cut, and then I was like, no, that's an arrow. So
been a weird cut.
Yeah.
But he did say that he would do whatever it takes to defend his title when he said that it wasn't his time yet, and then he did a certain Ric Flair to be the man. You got to beat the man. Or maybe you got to beat the overman, perhaps. Who knows? Now, we hadn't seen this tag to these teams. We haven't seen them in a while. Magnum Muscle, Mims and Dak Draper against good old Jax Dane and Tim Storm. I need to ask you the question on this. I mean, Jax Storm and Jax Storm, Jesus, Jax Dane.
The perfect event, is it not? I think it's their tagline.
I thought it'd been the perfect storm.
No, because that's what Tim's called by himself. So it's called the perfect event because it's the Dane event. So the perfect event.
The perfect event. Obviously, they picked up the victory. Did Mims and Dak coexist?
Loosely.
Because they both had that
They had the upper hand for a fair chunk of this match. They went to work on Tim. They basically broke Tim down and went to work on Tim's left leg and really, really went for it. The two of them worked fairly well. But towards the end, they kind of... There was a little bit of miscommunication, I think. And I think at one point, Mims ends up getting thrown into the ropes, and Draper's on the apron and knocks Draper off.
Right.
Tim puts a claw on Mims, then, and not the legal man at the time either, for him to let go, and Jax to spear the living shit out of Mims because that's what Jax does.
Yeah.
And then Mims taps out because they get him. Jax gets him in. Oh, I've forgotten what Jax's hold is, but Jax gets him in a submission hold, and I forgot what it's called.
Oh, that's gonna bug me.
You can see it. I can see it. I've totally forgotten what it's called, but he taps out anyway. What's that?
No, it's not the camel. Is it not? That's not the camel clutch, is it?
No. But it's yeah. I've totally forgotten the name of it. That's really, really bad because I didn't even write it down. But yeah, Mims taps out. And before this point, Draper could have put his hand in for the tag and he just didn't bother. Like, he just doesn't make the save. And he didn't make the save. He could have jumped in and made the save, as most tag partners would have done, and broken up the submission hold or whatever. Doesn't bother at all. And then even when Mims taps out, doesn't check on him, doesn't come into the ring, nothing at all. So I've literally written dysfunctional much question mark on that one.
Could well be the end of Magnum Muscle then. Is it? He's not
Yeah.
pop the trunk. That was a
What's
close.
that?
Yeah.
Yes,
Pop the
that
trunk.
sounds familiar.
I know it was a clothesline though, isn't it? That I don't know. Maybe I'm.
But it was definitely a submission hold. I'm sorry, Jax. I should have paid more attention. I was at work though.
Yeah,
Supposed to be
sneakily watching it at work as you do. So yeah, it could be the end of Magnum Muscle. But Tim and Jack's Crockett Cup, are they? And have they been announced for it?
They're on the poster. I
No.
really, really hope so because
Right.
obviously they're both Texans. They're both Texas boys. I don't know where in Texas Jack's from, but obviously Tim's an Arkansas boy, but he is Dallas based. So I really, really hope that they are announced as a team. I know that PWI had them up as one of the top seeds alongside Knox and Murdoch and the Southern Six and the Country Gentlemen and stuff. So we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, if they're on the poster, generally a good sign.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
absolutely.
hopefully they will be. It would be good to see them together as well. And the Crockett Cup winners, Knox and Murdoch. Yeah, they are right. I was right. I did have
Number one seeds. Yeah.
number one seeds are Knox and Murdoch. So speaking of Knox and Murdoch, it cut to the Spectaculars 2.0.
Orlando and Slade. Oh, bless them.
Yeah, they're making fun of Eric Smalls and they're looking ahead to their six-man tag against Smalls, Murdoch, and Knox. Is that next week?
That is next week, yeah.
That is next week.
I'm excited to see Knox and Murdoch back in the ring again. I feel like I've not. I'm literally like I'm gonna go on my bed tonight and watch all of them because I feel like I've missed everyone so much.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be Friedman or Slade going into that. Knox and Murdoch, just two people that you
No,
don't want to mess with.
yeah, it's yeah. But it's interesting that Smalls is teamed up with Knox and
Yeah,
Murdoch, given that there's a little bit of history there, isn't there?
there
So
is.
did Knox not put Small or Murdoch not put Smalls through a table at
Yeah,
was it at Samhain or something? I think one of them.
yeah. I think
I
it may have
vaguely
been, yeah.
remember something about that, so that'll be interesting.
You are just a quick one. It
Mhm.
looks like just not been well, it was announced yesterday actually that NWA 76 looks like it's going to be at Philly at the 2300 arena, the former ECW arena.
Wow, that's kind of cool, but kind of sad it's not at the Chase.
Yeah, so
I
I don't know,
thought the Chase was going to be like, okay.
but
Have they announced a date for it yet?
so it's basically saying this is off of WrestleZone.com. So I'm just taking it from there. So just in case it doesn't happen and people start bitching at me, Bill Pritchard from WrestleZone wrote, WrestleZone has learned that plans for the National Wrestling Alliance to host NWA 76 in Philadelphia this year. The event will take place at the 2300 Arena, former ECW Arena, on Saturday, the 31st of August 2024, with tickets expected to go on sale in April.
Okay.
That's the day after All In.
There's direct flights from Edinburgh.
Jesus Christ.
My
My God. I've completed something now, haven't I? It's only
you
because
created monster.
I'm reading the results off of WrestleZone because obviously I can't watch Power. I haven't got a VPN yet. I'm thinking about it.
I think you should look into it. I know I was so stubborn for so long, but I'm like, shit, why didn't I do this sooner?
I think I may
Because I shouldn't have to.
Well, yeah, you're right. We shouldn't have to do it, but we may have to for the sake of this because I'm just getting sick and tired of reading it off WrestleZone. But thanks to WrestleZone, I get to read it. So there is a little silver lining with WrestleZone. The main event as we got into now, Zion was with Austin Idol and AJ Cazana was with Bobby Fulton.
Yeah, because Joe was barred from ringside.
He was. Didn't do an Aaron and dress up or anything like that. He was banned from ringside. Zion picks up the victory though.
He did.
Tell us a bit more.
Disappointed with that, but and he was seeded lower than AJ in this as well. So
Oh, it was
AJ was
seeds
seeded.
in this.
So AJ was seeded fourth, and
Mhm.
Zion was seeded fifth in this little tournament. So he was seeded at the bottom end of this tournament.
Interesting. And he did pick up the
Obviously,
win.
this is for the four-way for the national
Yeah.
championship as well. So,
And how was that match like? What was it? Was it good?
I love watching AJ work. Not the biggest Zion fan in the world.
No.
Um, it was a fairly decent back and forth. Height wise, they're very, very similar. Size wise, AJ's a man mountain in comparison to him, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. And the reason why AJ did not win this was he went off the middle rope, missed
Oh,
because Zion's smart, gets out the way,
yeah.
and face plants the canvas to give Zion enough time to flying crossbody and get the pin. So
Interesting.
it's a
And
little bit unexpected for me, that one, to be honest with you.
yeah,
But
yeah, go on.
But I was going to say, by all accounts, I think the country gentlemen have been struggling lately from the comments that I was listening to on commentary. They've had a bit of a rough time and things haven't really been going their way since Anthony Andrews is back and stuff. So, yeah, interesting. I hope they do well in the Crockett Cup. But then that leaves Zion, Birchall, and Troop in the four-way. And next week it's a decider between Tom Latimer and Carson Drake.
I would bet my money on Latimer.
I would hope so.
I think he's going to win it.
I would hope so. I would really, really hope so.
I do think Latimer's going to win it. I think it's his time. He needs something.
He does. He really does.
So
I think that if he was not to win this tournament and win this belt, I don't really know what's left for him there. If
no,
they're not going to
interestingly
push
enough,
him.
nothing's happened to Camille yet. She's still a free agent as it stands. Quite surprisingly, I thought she would have popped up somewhere by now. But
In fact, I just want to just on that note, just to let Tom know we're thinking of him. He's been back in the UK. His grandmother passed away, and they've been home for the funeral this week. So, thinking of you guys in the family.
Definitely.
He is back in America now. I think he flew home yesterday. So
but
he has
yes,
been back in the UK this week for a family funeral. So
well,
that's always a sad thing.
definitely that, and condolences to the Latimer family, and well, yes, we are thinking of you, and we'll be seeing you next week on Power. I know it's taped, so it's not necessarily live, but we'll be seeing you next week on Power, or you will be. Me, I might be, but anyway, you've been back from holiday. So before you went away, you done Trish Stratus and Sergeant Slaughter. That was a load of fun.
It was fabulous. So much fun. Both of them were wonderful.
And you've done a show. Well, this is recorded on a
I've
Thursday.
done so many. Obviously, I got home on the Tuesday.
Yeah.
Then I went to Edinburgh on Wednesday to see Hamilton. So happy. It was amazing. Thursday was like kind of house admin laundry day. And then I had shows Friday, Saturday, Sunday last weekend. I debuted for Iron Girders Pro Wrestling on Saturday, which was great fun. A whole new roster, a whole new bunch of people. So that was really, really enjoyable. So I had shows with them Saturday, Sunday. Friday night was Pro Wrestling Scotland. Oh man, I can't even remember if it was Pro Wrestling Scotland or Premier British Wrestling. That's terrible. I'm like the worst here, man. I'm so sorry. Then I had a midweek show last night. This is Thursday. So last night was Wednesday. We had a Premier British Wrestling show. There's a little annual fundraiser in a primary school in Motherwell. It was so much fun. So much fun. Just really rowdy. I love those shows. Kids are wild, having a ball. They might have never seen wrestling before. So it's a proper boo sort of show. Great, great fun. So that was cool. I have main event entertainment tomorrow night. And then I have hooked on WrestleMania shows next Saturday, Sunday. And basically the wrestling truck just keeps rolling. I have so much stuff coming up over the next few months. So
busy. Funny enough, WWE have just announced a WrestleMania watch party in London.
I saw that, but it's only one night.
It's
why? Only the Saturday night, which I'm not quite sure why. But
2-night event for Christ's sake nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, add on to that, we're going to be fairly busy. We're going to the Revolution Rumble on Sunday.
That'll be
We're
fun.
looking for Josh Alexander's there from TNA. I cannot
Oh,
wait
nice one. I
to
like
watch.
watching his work,
He's
so
got a
that's
match
good.
with Leon Slater, and
Oh, that'll be
yeah,
good.
and he's in the Revolution Rumble as well.
That'll be
So
very good.
that was enough for me to go and watch that. Can't wait for that. Now next week we've got a power review, but we've also got NWA Spotlight next week with Austin Idol's son, Brian. I'm hoping he is his son now. I've said that right. Is he? No, is he not?
No,
Wow. Well, I have been totally mistaken.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Well, in that case, I am really.
Maybe he is. I have no idea.
Well, I was
That's one for Google.
Hold
I
on.
have no idea. What I can tell you is though, Brian Idol is the voiceover man for the Fandu belts 10 pounds ago lad bear. I learned that tonight.
Oh, okay.
You've heard the advert, you'll have seen the
Yeah.
advert, the Fandu 10 pounds ago.
Yes.
Well, according to Twitter, because that's what he's written, he is the voiceover man on that. I was like, he's got a silky smooth voice. I'm looking forward to chatting to him because he's done quite a lot outside NWA as well, and he's got his own promotion stuff going on. So I'm quite keen to have a conversation with him. Actually, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm very interested in speaking. I thought it was fucking Austin Idol's son. Obviously, I'm wrong. That's embarrassing. Doesn't look like I've ever done my homework whatsoever, doesn't it? Oh yeah, no indicated relation to the legend. There you go. So
There you go.
Fuck my life. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to quit. Anyway, we're going to be speaking to Brian Idol next week. I will definitely now have to scrap some of my notes.
Yeah. I'm
know,
so amused by this. I'm sorry, that's totally popped me.
that is ridiculous. Well, anyway, yeah. So we got him next week. Potentially a few more in the pipeline.
I'm working on some, so
I'm working on a couple.
I think it would be really good, a nice little series of some interviews and stuff, particularly with the Crockett Cup and stuff coming up. And there's some big shows coming, so and the lead up to 76 as well.
Yeah.
So
Exactly that. It'd be good to get a few of the guys and girls on from NWA if we can. We will. Ignite Wrestling 21st of April. Yes, 21st of April. Smashing Mike defends the Turnbuckle Championship against the Brilliance, James Ellis. Also on that card, CPF versus the Bryants. Taylor James versus his former tag team partner, Jack Torino from the Rebellion. Or the women's match, I think they might have changed, so I can't say anything about that at the minute. We're waiting on an injury update from Aluna, who's the Turnbuckle Women's Champion. She is currently sidelined with an injury. I know
it's a shame. Get well soon.
Definitely get well soon. I know Ignite are waiting on an injury update from her. So we don't know if she's taking on Sapphire Reed at the show. So we'll wait and hear from Ignite on that. And if that is going to change, we don't know. Corey McRae versus Jay Joshua versus Mark True in a #1 contenders match for the Turnbuckle Championship.
That'll be good.
And that match will take place at Buckle Up in July. Yes, our sponsored show with Ignite Wrestling Pro. Names could be confirmed when I'm allowed to confirm them. I think it's the best way of saying that. I don't want to annoy Boss Man himself. So we do have, as we said, Brian Idol coming on. I think we got a couple more interviews in the pipeline, but none that I can announce on the show right now. I don't think. No, I'm not. No, just double check it. The calendar before I definitely said no. Sophie, this has been nice to have you back.
It's been nice to be back, and it's not even been like just a 10-minute pod as well.
Thank Christ for that.
Start watching it. Just get a VPN. Just do it. But boo that we have to.
Yeah, I'll have to look at it. I'm gonna have to. I think I need to.
I'm really proud that it took me 2 months to cave in, although I'm getting grief from some of my.
We were talking about MLW and I'll be promoting.
I'm getting grief from people for caving in, though.
Well, yeah, I can understand why people would be that way because we've been so vocal about not doing it, but we kind of have to. I think.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to have to do the same thing as you and cave in and get it myself. But next week we will be back to do this all again. Probably the same day. We'll have to work out on days. We've got Brian Idol on Wednesday next week, I believe. So we'll just work out on that. But Fee, thank you as always. It's been a lovely talking to you after
It's lovely to be back.
And we will be back next week with that. Keep on checking us through the weekend. We'll have more shows dropping everywhere. We've just finished up with Jake Something from TNA. That was a great interview. Just actually before we went on air today, had a chat with Kelly Six, British Independent Star. Just come back from Japan, flew up to the eyeballs, poor sod. But it was a great interview. We had a bit of chat with him. Had a little bit of an internet issue with the wind, but it was great. It got done. So you'll see that next week as well. But until then, everybody, she has been the wonderful, the amazing, the 21-year-old Fiona Lochran.
You're hilarious.
I have been host Adam Cousins. Till next time, everybody, take care and good night.